Welcome to this video. So in this video I want to quickly show us how to do a quick table calculation within Tableau. So let's get started. I've connected to the sample EU Superstore data and I've dragged in the orders table into the canvas, and I'll be using profits in my visualization. In this visualization, I'll be plotting in an area graph. So first of all, we're going to start with plotting a line graph, and we're going to connect or convert it to an area chart. So let's drag in profits into rows, and it's going to sum it up by default. And we're going to bring in the orders date into columns. Here's my orders date because we need a dates field to plot a line graph. So I'm going to hold down the options key and you will see the reason why I'm doing that. I'm using the MacBook options and I'm going to drag it in there. This is to give me several options for me to be able to pick it in there. So we have the green pill, we have the blue pill. So the blue pills shows discrete values and the green pills shows continuous values. So I'm going to pick the month there. So this is the month variable and I'm going to say okay, I want a continuous date. If I do not use this method, I will just go back again one step backward and drag in orders date. You will see it's in there by default here and is a discrete value. So I will need to change this manually to continuous variable, and I'm going to go to the month section, which is this place, and this is what I have in here. But if I don't want to go through the route, I have to hold down the options key on my MacBook and drag in the orders dates in there, and here I have it listed. And I'm going to go to the green pill, which is the continuous variable, and choose the month, and here we go. So now that we have brought in the orders date as month into the visualization, we have a line chart, and I'm going to convert this to an area chart, and this is what we have. But before then, I will go one step backward and I will drag this table. I'll hold down the command key to duplicate this field. You can see it's duplicated. This is for me to be able to create two graphs and synchronize them together, which we will see in a bit. So the first one will be an area chart, while the other one will be a line chart. But I will do a dual axis before that, and I'm going to change this one. Click on this one, which is this. It's going to come in and in here. And I'm going to say area, and this is to highlight the edges as line charts. You can change the color as well, and I can decide to synchronize as well. So I will synchronize by just right clicking on this, and you will see synchronize axis, and here we go, just to make each of the axes look similar, because of course that's the same metrics. I can decide to hide this header because I do not need it to. So yeah, I have my beautiful area charts displayed. So now we proceed to understanding how to create a quick table calculation. So when you have a continuous variable, metric or a measure in your row card or whatever in this column or row shelf, you come to this arrow by the side and click on this drop down arrow. You will see a list of menu. Scroll down to quick table calculation. You will see another list of table calculations displayed. We have running total, difference, percentage difference, and so on. So we're going to look at the moving average for the purpose of this video. So I'm going to do a moving average. There we go. So it's having a moving average on both. Yes, I'm going to do on both metric because it's synchronized together. Do not forget that. So yes, I have a moving average for this visualization, and that is from me going through and coming here. You can choose any one you have. So if you want to know how far back this moving average is computing, just go to edit table calculation. It will give you this box there. You can see average previous 2 months to the current month. That is what this means, and you can decide to change this to previous 3 months or 1 month. So this is a quick table calculation, and we can go through the route of using a calculated field for our quick table calculation. come into, you will see the search bar by the side. You click on the arrow, click on create calculated field. That's how you can create your calculated field. It's open a blank box for you to input your formula. In this, on the side of the box, you will see a list of formulas you can use. Let's see running average. You can see running average in here as displayed. So when I use running average, I can duplicate as well. I can bring it into my formula. So running average should be able to compute the same thing for us. So I'm going to bring in my measure, which is profit, and I will intentionally just put profit in here, and that is going to complain because I need it to be in aggregation. You can see aggregate, so I'm going to make sure that it's aggregated, and in this case I'm using sum because that's what I used in my formula. We're aggregating the moving average of the total sum, and I'm going to close this, okay? And I will say moving average, just shorten it, so moving average. Well, let's just write it in full because I've created one before. Moving average, and there we have it. If I bring it into my visualization, you can see I need to duplicate as well just to make sure that I have something similar. You can see that hold your command key, drag it in there, make the other one a real chart by clicking. Make sure you click on this one and it's going to highlight it in here. I will do area and we'll synchronize again. First of all, do axis, and I can decide to synchronize or leave it as is. So you can see the moving average is a bit different to this one because moving average is, the running average as per the calculation is just each of the month, not 2 months per hour, okay? When it gets in here, you can see it's quite different from what we have in here. So if I want to specify this to be 1 month per hour, let's see if it's going to make it similar to what we have for our running average in our calculated field. This is our running average. I use the running average formula for this. So let's tweak this one and see if we change it to 1 month per hour, it's going to give us the same thing. Let's see what's going to happen. I will keep doing it for everything. Edit table calculation and do 1 month per hour. And there we have it. It's still different. So apparently we've been able to compare the two. We've edited the quick table calculation, and we can't really anchor this to what exactly this is speaking. So now that brings us to the difference between the moving average and the running average. When you say moving is not static, it's not fixed. It's not fixed to a point. The average is always moving and there's always an index attached to it. So it could look back 7 months per hour, 3 months per hour based on our calculation because we're using the month or the date. If it's year, we can make it yearly as well. So basically, this is what it's doing. It's going to look at a particular fixed time backwards as moving, and it keeps moving. 7 months after, it moves another 7 months, and the window shifts on and on till we get to this point. So when we get to this point, it's going to look at 7 months per hour, which is different from the point from year looking backwards, 7 months backwards. But running total, we always start from the beginning to the end. So that's why we're getting this different view. As we moved on, because this is looking at 7 months per hour, it looked the same, but when it got to this point, it changed. So that is why that emphasis, moving average, is different from running total. Moving is always moving, and running is always referencing the first points in the data set. So now, how do we achieve this? The only thing we can do, we can actually edit it from this table calculation, because you have to specify a point. When we put 0, it's going to keep changing. So except you want to create a table calculation, which I've done here. I created a table calculation, and in this regard I'm going to be using the Windows average. Okay, this Windows average is what we keep moving, so there is no running average in here. Let's just search for search sake. Okay, we can use running average, which we use. Yeah, we do not have moving average. That's what I mean. Moving average, no moving average, so you have to use the Windows average. It's equivalent to the moving average as well. So in this case, we'll use the moving average, which is the Windows average, in our formula Windows average, which is this one. There's no S in there. And we're going to use sum, and in this situation we're going to use this formula to use the first point of the data set and to the current point in the data set. Okay, and that is what that does, the moving average, but I will edit it to say running average. Then we can get whatever formula we're going to be using. So this is the running average using a calculated field and not the quick table calculation, so that we can achieve this particular view, which is also achieved using a table calculation, which is this one. Let me say running average. So this use explicitly the formula running average in it, and you don't need to specify the first point of data sets. However, this one we use a Windows formula, but you can use this one in there. The Windows formula is a moving average formula, but we use the first formula within the entire formula as well. So I'm going to yank this one off and put in this into the bar, which is the one we calculated with the moving average, the Windows average. I'm going to duplicate this. You can duplicate by dragging in twice or by holding down your command key and splitting it. I'm going to make it dual axis, and I'm also going to make this an area chart. There we have it. You can see it's absolutely similar. Okay, so this is achieved using the moving average formula, but we use the calculated field, and this is achieved by just explicitly putting in the running average, which we do not need to change or add any extra formula to it. And likewise we can do for running total and moving total. Okay, so the moving total, let's use a calculated field for that. You will see, let's see, there is no moving whatsoever in the formula. So when we say moving total or moving sum, you have to use the Windows. Okay, let's use the window formula. We look for Windows. Let's see if we can see moving window total is window sum. Okay, so we use the window sum in here. You can actually drag, which is, let's just put it in window sum. It's going to come up underscore sum. Then you can specify, let's do sum profit, and we can specify the first formula because we want it to be equivalent to our running total. That's why we have this emphasis. Okay, so I'll say moving sum, I'll just say moving total. Okay, it's giving me an error, and I'm sure the error will be a parenthesis issue. Okay, not parenthesis. Let's see. Yeah, there's a comma missing somewhere. First 0. Okay, so this one encloses this, and we should have parentheses. So this is saying Another error. Unknown sum of profit. Oh, okay. So we need to put in this in here and delete this. There we have it. So we would do for running total as in calculated field. This is because we want to achieve the same view, but if not, you can just use a quick table calculation for your running total and for your, let's just do running total. So running sum, and we specify sum of profits. And we just say 0 to the current field. And we should be able to close this. The same error. We have 2 in here. Running sum. We do not need to specify this, I guess. Yeah, since we didn't specify at the beginning. So we have the running total using calculated field and the moving total. We do this and do likewise for this. Exactly the same thing. But if you want to achieve the moving total and you don't want it to be exactly the same thing, you will have to just use a table calculation, put in sum. In total, if you do not want to use calculated field for that purpose, I added the sum of profit in here, and you come in here. If you go to quick table calculation, you won't see moving sum in here. It's not listed, so all you need to do is to say add table calculation. So click on this and you will see table calculation. Let's just clear table calculation for now for this one. You see add table calculation. So if you go this route, you may not find it in there. So go to add table calculation and you will come into this particular part and you will choose moving calculation. Then you can see sum is selected by default, but you can also change this to average, minimum, or maximum. So we want to see moving sum, and you can actually look back, to months per hour, however you want to look, and just select that and you have it. Okay, you can see it in here. Again, it's different from the running total. Like I said, running total will always be from beginning, and running total, well, you can always convert your moving average to running total using a calculated field, or you can convert your moving average or your moving total or moving sum to running average or running total by creating a calculated field, as I earlier stated, and you'll be able to specify it in your, for example, in this one, your formula, and you will be able to say first in there, and you have it turned to a running total in that regard. I hope you find this video insightful and useful. Kindly subscribe and don't forget to like and share. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.